So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my 3-year-old and 5-year-old's favorites. This is going to be a little bit of a gift guide for that range. However, instead of going online and finding things that I think my kids would love, I'm going to show you things that they actually love and they use, if not every single day, definitely on a weekly basis. Before we jump into today's video, I do want to take a second and welcome you if this is your first time stopping by. Typically here on my channel, I love making homeschooling content. I am a homeschool mama of 4 little ones, as well as just simple living, motherhood encouragement, and everything like that. If that's something that you'd be interested in following, I'd love to have you stick around and join our family, and you can do so by subscribing down below. Anyways, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So I thought I would go ahead and start with books because honestly, this is how we wind down our evening every single night. The ones I'm about to show you are ones that are just beautifully done, and for that 3 to 5-year-old range is beautiful. They rhyme well, the pictures are lovely, and they're very engaging, and they're just really sweet. So these are like theology books for kids, and I love them so much. We have been reading, no exaggeration, these books, if not 1 or 2, pretty much I would say a minimum of 2 every single night for the past 2 months, and they have just been absolutely lovely. The 3 that I have is God Came Near to Me. This one shares key facts of the gospel and a glimpse of the joy found when children embrace Christ as their Lord and Savior. And this is one of my 5-year-old's all-time favorites, and she has the entire thing memorized. So it's a beautiful, just a beautifully illustrated little book that truly just teaches even little tiny ones. I would say even as young as 2, they could memorize these key concepts and really have deep theology placed in their heart at such a young age, and these books do a beautiful job. So I have God Came Near to Me, then I also have God Speaks to Me, which is again another beautifully done book. One of the things that I love about these is that at the back, so at the end of God Speaks to Me, for example, let me go to here, it says, amazing words, they guarantee that in the word God speaks to me. And then they have a little mirror in the back here, so little ones can like look at themselves, and it's just a fun way to make the story come to life. So it's God Speaks to Me, and the way that God Came Near to Me ends is, I'll run to my king, bow down on one knee, and wonder at Jesus who came near to me. And then they can look at themselves in a little mirror. Such a darling book. It really is, and really sweet. And I've noticed that just with my 3 and 5-year-old, how many beautiful concepts that they've really taken to heart and that they ponder and they ask questions about, which is so wonderful. So I love that. And then this one ends with, we praise you, Lord Jesus, and can't wait to be with you, our dear Savior, whose love rescues me. And then of course a little mirror where they can look at themselves. It's a really sweet series. I highly recommend this. I don't know how many's in this series, honestly. I did get all that they had at this particular vendor, so I'll see if I can find them and link them down below. But if you are looking for just very sound theological books to introduce like more theology based concepts instead of just a straight Bible story, these are beautifully done. So these are definitely a favorite. Another series that we have loved and I have shared for, I want to say 2 years, maybe 3 on my channel, and that is really any of the books by Tabitha Page. We have our little adventures library, this one right here, and these are again rhyming books, and they are so beautifully done. Not just in their rhymes, but really in their illustrations. We just love everything about them, and as you can tell probably by all the smudges, these are very well loved, all kind of worn. So I always kind of like look at books and like a lot of books in our home are very well worn, and these would be one of them. But these are just lovely. They're little watercolor paintings, and you go on little trips with all these little animals and adventures, and they teach kindness, respect towards each other, friendship, and they're just about just so many beautiful key concepts for little people, but in a very nature-filled, inspired way, and I love them. Really, all of Tabitha Page's books are beautiful, but this is still one of our favorites, so that's why it's in this video. I ended up sharing these, I want to say when I was sharing about my 5-year-old speech delay, because having books with a rhyme, so books like these and books like these are wonderful because they can memorize them really easily, and then they can start filling in the words for you as you're reading them and read along with you from memory. So it's really fun, but this is kind of like that as well. And in the back, I forgot to show you guys, in the back there's also a couple of pages of vocabulary, so you can work with your little ones on learning new words and big words. So these are another huge favorite in our home and just find a very consistent spot in our daily routine. Another couple of books here, and we have so many of these books, but I'm sharing these specifically because right now my 3-year-old just gravitates towards them a lot because she's really into Lift the Flap books, which I am torn between how I feel about them. It depends if the flaps actually stay on the page or not. Anyway, this is 100 Flaps to Learn on the Farm, this book here, and there are so many just really, really fun flaps to open. If you have little ones that love being engaged with stories, and if you want help with building their vocabulary, this is a wonderful way to do that. And it is bright, fun, and colorful and interactive, and there's just really so many little things to open. So there's, again, 100 little things for them to open, and you can also do counting with it, again, learn vocabulary, and just really, really sweet. This one is the Esborn Lift the Flap ABC book. It's very similar, where you go through and you have all kinds of fun just lifting all the flaps. And this one is also fun because it is ABC related. So my 3-year-old now is starting to learn really all of her letter sounds, and so this has been a really fun interactive way to do that because there has been just so many flaps and things. So it's introducing phonics and everything fun like that. Another thing that my 3 and 5-year-olds love are these puzzle picture books. This is kind of like a search and find book. However, it's very simple and perfect for the younger years because it's a big scene and you just go through and you read. So someone has dropped a watch, but where? So it's a little bit of a hidden pictures thing, but it's not as intense as a lot of the other search and find books are that my older 2 really love. So this is a really fun, bright, colorful search and find books that both, honestly, my 3 and 5-year-old look at. If not on a weekly basis, a daily basis, one of them will always have one of these. I do have several in this series, but this is definitely one of their favorites. So my 3-year-old absolutely loves horses, and a really simple book that we have loved and that she loves is this book called Big Horses, Little Horses, and that's quite literally all it is. It's a bunch of horses. It's race horses, show ponies, draft horses, jumping horses, coach horses, trotting horses. It's really every horse and every pony breed in one book, and she loves sitting and just looking at all the pretty pictures. And it's very simple, but she loves it. And so if you have little ones that love horses and are very visual and would like a little open and go book and chart, this is a great one. Another horse-related thing is the Wonderful World of Horses. This is the Dover coloring books. We have a lot of different Dover coloring books, but because we're going to be talking about a lot of horse things today, I thought I would share this. But I do like the real life imagery, and she really likes anything real life is too. She's not into coloring the actual cartoon horses. She'd rather have a real life coloring book. So another book that we love, and we love everything from this company, and I'm going to be sharing a few more things I got from them in my upcoming what I actually got my kids for Christmas video. But I had to share it now because it's darling and it has been a favorite. But this is called Jolly Tales. This particular one is a lesson in obedience, but this is a classroom kind of flip book where if your children are sitting on the floor in front of you, then you can let them look at the pictures while the actual script is on the back, so you as the mama can read while they're looking and observing the picture. This is wonderful because with flip books, I found with my 3 and 5-year-old, they get really engaged because there's a really big picture to look at, and it's really sweet. So as I'm reading a story, we'll just go through, we'll flip through the book, and they get to observe the picture, and they really love studying all the different details when it comes to flip books. So I'm sharing this because they have a lot of other really cute things on the Jolly Tales websites. They not only have a lot of different characteristic stories, so this is on obedience. The one I picked up for Christmas is on kindness, but they also have the little crocheted jolly mice that go with it. They have all the cute little add-ons like the tea sets and acorn things, and just really sweet things. And I'm really excited to share with you guys today this brand, and I can't wait to share the other things I picked up from them for upcoming Christmas. But Jolly Tales is just a sweet company. Highly recommend checking them out. It's also a very small family-owned business, so I know you'll love them. So Jolly Tales is wonderful. And then another book-related thing is kind of art, as we move into arts things here, is a scratch-off kind of hidden pictures book. I love this particularly for church, so anything that I can have in my bag that doesn't take up a lot of space but is time consuming is always a win. And so the scratch art things are fun. One thing I like about this one in particular is it's not messy. I know a lot of scratch arts can put a lot of mess out there, so this is not one that I feel bad taking with us to church. And there is a little bit of a, like, of course when you scrape it off there's a little bit of dust and stuff, but it's not anything crazy like a lot of other scratch art, so we're not going to leave behind a mess or anything. Everything is pretty clean. So we love these. It's the highlight scratch off. I have the ocean one. for my son and the unicorns one, but the the unicorns one is for my 3-year-old. She loves unicorns. And so this is one of those church activity things that we love. If you do not mind your little ones getting into a watercolor palette and mixing all the colors to the point where no colors are the same, definitely recommend a watercolor palette, one with a lot of colors. It does not really bother me, to be honest, because I can just rinse it out. This one is very, very, very well loved. We ended up picking this up for Christmas last year, but as you can tell, it's a mess, but they love it. They really, really love it. I want to say this is the 100 some. I always mess it up because I've shared this before on my channel, and I always think it's 150 colors, but I think it might just be 108. I don't remember. I'll see if I can find it down below. And link it for you guys, but there's shimmer colors, there's neon colors, there's dark colors, neutral colors, and they have so much fun with this. They have used this every single week, a minimum maybe twice a week, ever since we got it for them last year. And it's completely, like, a lot of the colors are completely empty, they're just staying the actual color. But if you look close, you can probably see that a lot of the colors are definitely past empty. So if you don't mind having a palette that gets mixed a lot, then your little ones will just have so much fun creating. My little ones love mixing colors, creating new colors with it. So I don't keep this away from my personal watercoloring experiences. This is just for them to have fun with and be creative with. And just having so many color options is wonderful, and they love it. And I also like the packaging too, because once it's dried out, I can just snap it and put it back up on the shelf. So I love, oh, this is a brand, Gravy. I think it's Gravy, yeah. For their watercolors. I really enjoy that brand for all of their arts and crafts things. So the next thing that is kind of activity related is this little color with magnet set. I got this while we were on vacation for something to do on the way home, and I want to say it came from Target, but I could be wrong. And I don't even know the brand because it doesn't really have a brand on it. I'll see if I can find it. If you have little ones that are needing help with fine motor skills or things like that, this is wonderful. The little foam magnets though are pretty small, so you probably want to make sure that they will not put them in their mouth. So definitely I would say for more that 5-year-old and up range. I know I got this for my 5-year-old as we're working with her fine motor skills and gross motor skills. This is wonderful for that. It really, really is. Especially if you have little ones who maybe have a hard time like buttoning their shirt or doing little activities like that. This is wonderful to get them there because it requires a lot of concentration as they're putting those little foam magnets in the squares. This is what the pictures look like. And what you do is you take the little foam magnets that it comes with. So these little tiny pieces right here, I'm going to see if I can get up close so I can show you how small they are. But they are really, really, really small. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take the card and you can put the little magnets on there, the little foam pieces. But this is just a really, really fun way to keep their attention. It's a really quiet activity too. So again, if you want to have that kind of church activity bag, this would be a great option for that. And honestly, it's just really fun. So I enjoy doing it sometimes too. For games, I have several games that my 3-year-old and 5-year-old love. I have shared this before on my channel, and it's also a mess because it's been very well loved. But this is Noodle Knockout. This game is so fun and really, really sweet, to be honest. But you have a little recipe card. Let me get them out here. You have a little recipe card and you have to kind of fill someone's order, and you can have your color of choice. You have your little bowl, you have your little tongs, and then whatever's on the order, you can kind of, I'm all over the place here. Let me see here. Spin the dial and see whoever the first one is to fill the order kind of wins the game. This is so fun. And honestly, as young as probably 2 or 3 can play it. My 3-year-old plays it with no problem. She loves it. So you go through, and every time you land on a noodle, you can put the little noodle in the bowl, and so you're making a little ramen bowl almost. There's even little rubber eggs that you can put in there. And this is also a wonderful fine motor thing to where they need to reach in there, pull out the thing, and then fill their order. And my older kids, what they like to do is they'll try to fill 2 orders at once, and then whoever fills 2 orders at once wins the game. So there's a lot of different ways, and there's actually a lot of different things you can do with it, a lot of different challenges, and you can play up to 4 people with it, which is why I love it, because my youngest is 3 years old now, so she's at the age where she can play this with my older 2, which is really, really fun. So there's not that much strategy involved. It's just whatever you land on, you land on. So it's really fun. Another activity that my 5-year-old has been loving, and my older 2 as well, so this might end up in my other gift guide videos as well, but that is the, I can't show you the lid of it here because it would all fall out, but this is called pattern play. And it's essentially all these little colorful blocks. See if I can show you without them falling out. And you have to try to complete the pattern So you draw cards, there's different levels, and all you do is you dump out the blocks and you put the patterns into what the card is. So really simple, and this is a wonderful, wonderful activity for if you have little ones, again, with either a speech delay, processing delay, any learning disability. This really helps that kind of like brain connection work better. So I love this game. I was recommended it by another mama who had a speech delayed little one, and she really talked highly of it. So that's why I ended up purchasing it, and it's been a favorite ever since. And I have shared this multiple times on my channel, and it is also very well loved. But that is this really simple, just Melissa and Doug shapes puzzle. I'm sure you've probably seen these and are very familiar with them, but they're just little shape puzzles. And as you can tell, they're all colored in from years and years of use. But my 3-year-old loves these. She'll lay them all out and just toss in the shapes. And believe it or not, she actually learned most of her shapes this way by just filling in the pieces. And yes, hands-on way to learn shapes. So this is how she learned a lot of her basic shapes when she was like 2 years old, was through this puzzle. So I'm sharing it now because even though my little ones are 3 and 5, they still love doing this for something fun to do. Another thing that they love is spot it games. I don't have the actual bottom part for this because it got left in a hotel room somewhere. So I have just the lid with the cards hopefully not coming out of it. But this is really fun. This is like the Princess Edition. But if you're not familiar with Spot It, which I know most people are, but all you have to try to do is find the common denominator between two cards. And this is something so fun that both my 3 and 5-year-old love doing together. Sometimes they'll wind down with it in the evenings. They love Spot It. So we have probably about 3 different versions, but they're into all things like fun and girly right now. So they had the princess one, and that is something that they love doing. Another game and activity, and this is going to seem also kind of old news because I've shared it probably since the beginning of my channel, but that's imagination patterns. This is from the brand Mindware. I really like a lot of Mindware's products because it's really high quality, first of all. And this has been around since my 10-year-old was 3. I think he was 3 or 4, and we are only surprisingly missing a few of the magnets, and it's just as good as it was when we bought it as far as just the overall quality. I will say the one thing that's not as good as we bought it is the actual condition of the pattern cards. I would say, like, if you really want it to last a lifetime, you could laminate them, but it's not that big of a deal. For me anyway. So they just complete the patterns. It's just pattern play, and I love it so much. So there's more advanced pictures that they can complete, but one of the things that I love this for, let me turn all the other magnets around so they don't fall off, is that it's 100% magnetic. So you can take this with you everywhere. You can move the pieces around, and it's a really strong magnet. Not so strong to where little ones can't do it, but they're not going to move around. So when you're in a car or you're driving somewhere, let me get that off, it's wonderful. It's a really fun like travel activity. Toss the cars in there. The latch actually works really, really well. It's not going to pop off even on the road. It's just a really fun take-along thing that all of my children for years have just loved doing is imagination patterns. Another thing that my 3 and 5-year-old have been loving, and they got this for Christmas last year, and that is the colorations. These are the Creative Creatures dough builders, but this is little Play-Doh people. So it's like a miniature version of Mr. Potato Head, but inside, and I'll show you up close here one second, there's a ton of pieces in here, but inside you have little hats, you have boots, you've got shoes, you have eyes, and you can just make your own little Play-Doh people. Here's your little eyes in here, little cowboy hat. They're so cute, and there's really so much you can do with them. And surprisingly, I think I'm only missing a handful of pieces because we've been playing with it nonstop for a year, but this is something that they really love doing. A lot of the times, another thing that we'll do for church, and I'll rotate church activities, but I'll take a little Ziploc baggie full of these and a little thing of Play-Doh, and they'll have a ton of fun just doing that for a solid 25 minutes, something like that. So they love these little Play-Doh builders. So on the topic of little mini potato heads, my 3 and 5-year-old love Mr. Potato Head. They have for about 2 years. I initially invested in a lot of Mr. Potato Heads, and by invested I mean I just started collecting them at like thrift stores and online, online thrift stores. But over the time, I built up a large basket full of of the large, like full-size Mr. Potato Heads. I want to say I got this 2 years ago initially for my 5-year-old when she was 3, but now my 3-year-old and her still love playing with them. They like doing evenings with my older kids where they try to make them as crazy as possible. So they'll put all kinds of like funny features on them, or they'll make little families with them, and they're just so fun. And it's one of those things where, especially if you get them pre-owned, like I've gotten most of my potato heads thrifted, the quality is so much better than the new ones. It's just guys. They just are incredible quality. So this is something that I probably won't be getting rid of. It'll be in my like things to hand down to my kids just because they love them. They love them so much. So Mr. Potato Heads are always a hit in our home. Another thing that I have shared so many times on my channel are these little magnetic wooden dress-up dolls. And if you have that 3 to 5-year-old little girls who love doing dress-up, then these are a wonderful addition. And I have, I want to say 6 or 7 of these little dollies. Let me see if I can find, yeah, here we go. And they're just little magnets, so you can take the clothes and you can dress them up into little outfits, change the outfits, and they're just so fun. They will play with these for probably 20-25 minutes at a time, which for little ones, if something holds their attention for that long, it's normally pretty good if they can hold attention for that long. So they have just a bunch of these little wooden dollies that they love dressing up. Most of them do, or all of them do come with little stands, so a lot of the times they'll put their little dollies like on the stand and then dress them up that way. So they love those. And then another dress up thing that I have are the little bear ones, where you can put the little bears together. I know this is another really popular Melissa and Doug puzzle, but they really like these, especially since all the bears have emotions on them. So sadness, there's happiness, there's like crying, there's sick, there's laughing, there's all kinds of different emotions. So if you also do have a speech delayed little one and you're working on emotional like vocabulary, this little bear set would be a really good addition for that. But we love the little magnetic dress up dollies. They've just been really fun in our home. So one of their favorite toys this year has by far been this little camper from Love Every. I almost said something else. We're like, no, it's Love Every. Yes. I ended up last year getting, I want to say it was my 3-year-old. I could be totally wrong, but I think it was my 3-year-old a play kit from Love Every. And I divided all the toys up as separate gifts. So a bulk of her Christmas was the play kit from Love Every. And this was one of them. And this was one of the toys that she just plays with all of the time. But it's a cute little camper. It comes with keys, which to be honest, I'm not sure where the keys are at the moment, but it can be opened and closed without the keys. But she does like playing with the keys. But it has little sleeping bags, and it even has a little pop-up little roof camper thing. But if you're not familiar with Love Every, their quality is just phenomenal. They are pretty pricey. However, they're worth it, and this is going to be one of those toys where I won't really donate or give away. It'll go into my more heritage toys type collection that I pass down to my little ones when they're a little bit older. And it also comes with a little tent that she also loves. The tent is the same material, I think, as a sleeping bag, and she just has so much fun with this. It's just one of her all-time favorites. I'm probably going to end up doing another play kit for her for Christmas, just because it's honestly a really economical way to get a lot of high quality toys, and then you can unpackage the big box and just divvy up, and she can have like 5 or 6 little gifts with one purchase, if that makes sense. So I love this, and this little camper has been, again, one of her most played with items this year. Another thing that my 3-year-old loves, and she will randomly take this with her even when we're on road trips, things like that, and that's the little Melissa and Doug little lock house. But it has like the little doorbells. That one is the annoying one, but every single door has a little different doorbell sound. That's that one. And then each little door has a little person in it, so you can be like, hello. So that's really cute. She loves it. And then of course it has all the keys. One thing I love about this is the keys do not come off unless they happen to cut them off, which I don't know why they would, but the keys don't come off. So it's wonderful for them to practice also those fine motor skills and gross motor skills as they're unlocking the locks. And this one, the locks actually do work, and each one of the keys has a different little pattern on it. So a really fun thing. And again, as you can tell, it's very well loved. But this has been one of my 3-year-olds most played with things for this past year. Another thing that they love is we like playing dominoes. However, for my 3-year-old, she's not quite at the age where she can take the time to count all the little black dots on the said dominoes. So one of my favorite domino sets is this little wooden, they're little birds from, I think the brand is Maple Landmark, something like that. I think that's what it is, Maple Landmark. But they're just little bird dominoes, and they're beautifully done. But as you can tell, the wood is really thick, and they're just beautifully made. They're handcrafted, I want to say in Vermont, but we've just really been enjoying them. This is also a really fun way to actually learn about all the different birds. So for last year's Christmas, my now 10-year-old and 8-year-old got Yoto players, and because my 5-year-old, well now 5-year-old, she was 4 at the time, she loved it so much that she wanted her own. So my husband and I decided to get my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old one to share, and they have been loving their Yoto players. This is something that they listen to every single day, multiple times a day. For my 3 and 5-year-olds, some of their favorites, they like the Frog and Toad series. They also like Winnie the Pooh, is really, really sweet. A lot of the nursery rhyme ones that we have. They also love the song cards. This is just the preschool songs like Row, Row, Row Your Boat, like the little nursery rhymes. My 3-year-old loves this card. And then she also loves, my 5-year-old loves the little Ratatouille story card, like the read aloud. And then I'll share some of my other, like my she's now 8 and 10-year-olds favorites and their favorites videos, but my younger ones really love Ratatouille, Winnie the Pooh, Frog and Toad, the songs. They just love anything music as well. So all the J.J. Heller cards are songs that are played every single day in our home. I feel like they have every single one memorized right now, and they're just beautifully, beautifully done. So the Yoto player is definitely one of my all-time favorite purchases of the entire year. This is something that we've taken with us on the road. It's something that during quiet time they can just listen to something. They can listen to music as they're in bed. And one of the other things too is we actually don't have Wi-Fi, believe it or not, in our home. So if you do have Wi-Fi, you can actually connect it to a lot of different really cute little trivia stations, little like game stations and things like that for your kids. And you can even have like wake up alarms. Now I do utilize the wake up alarms because even though I don't have Wi-Fi, I can still utilize that. We love our Yoto players, and they've been, again, one of our most loved things in our home in this past year when it comes to what our children love listening to and how they listen to things. So a brand that we have been loving when it comes to animal figurines, because our family loves animal figurines. We do, for every birthday or Christmas, we try to add a few more to our collection. For my 3-year-old, she's really into horses right now. So I want to say the brand is Shelik. Is that how you pronounce it? I think it is Shelik. It's SCHIELCH, something like that. These are some of my favorite quality type animals. They last for years and years and years. I still have a few animals from when I was a kid that I've been able to pass down to my little ones. And my 3-year-old is really into horses right now. So I'll be adding to her little horse collection. And she also loves unicorns, as I mentioned. So a lot of her gifts this year will probably be unicorn related, but they're just so incredibly like high quality. Like it's just phenomenal. We even left them outside. They've been hit by things. They've been like probably rolled over, and they're still great. So the white ones, of course, will get all scuffed up, but for the most part, like the darker colors, they'll always look new. And we've always had really, really good experiences with this brand, in particular when it comes to animal figurines. I do have some other unique animals that I got for stocking stuffers for my olders that I'll share with you in the upcoming videos. But these are just so well made. So if you are looking for high quality animal figurines, highly recommend those. For totally random miscellaneous ideas, my 3 and 5-year-old each have a little bag that they fill with whatever they want and they take to church with them. This one, I want to say, is my 5-year-olds. No, it has some of my 3-year-olds. Maybe they put both of their stuff in here last week. And I thought I would show you what's in here because this is something that they fill themselves and that they take with them to church or wherever we're going for the day. So right now, this is my 5-year-old's, what she has in here. She has this little Melissa and Doug play and go little food thing. She loves different little play food, and so you open it up. And one thing I love about this packaging is the lid does not fall off. It actually stays on the string and just stays on there. And you can make your own little cookies or ice cream sandwiches, and it's just a really fun activity. So this is one of her little play food things that she will take with us to church, and it's a really fun, like, quiet time activity that she loves doing. Something that my 3-year-old loves, well, and my 5-year-old, but really my 3-year-old loves, she loves anything sticker related. One of my favorite church time activities is to just take a little notebook and a pad of stickers, and that's really all you need. I would say if you had to find one thing to keep your children busy during church, if you keep your children with you during church, stickers and just a piece of paper is where it's at, because it takes a lot of concentration to peel the sticker off and put it on, and it's very, very quiet. And a lot of the times for my 3-year-old, if she can't quite get the super sticky ones off, or if they're not as child friendly to peel off, a lot of the times I will take the sticker and hand it to her, but it keeps her so happy for some reason when it comes to taking stickers and decorated paper with them. So stickers and paper is honestly one of her favorite things. And I know a bunch of other stickers that we'll be getting with her or for her for Christmas, just because she loves stickers so much. And it's something so simple, but I think it goes to show you that you don't need to really spend hardly anything to get a beautiful gift that your little ones will love. And for her, it's definitely different character stickers and things that she just really, really likes. So that is that. Another thing that my little one has in here is I ended up getting this little wooden wooden box. I want to say thrifted or at a yard sale or something. You can buy a little wooden box easily thrifted, but what my 3 and 5-year-old likes doing, and I had to show you up close because it's so cute, but they put all kinds of teeny tiny treasures in here, and then they'll put that in their little bag. So little miniature little zebras will go in here. They'll have a little mini walrus, a little mini little cheetah, but they're all cute little just tiny things. And we actually ended up getting all these little mini figurines at Hobby Lobby. They have pretty good prices for them. You can buy a whole bag for just a couple of dollars of like ocean themed, and then she got the little safari bag. I want to say they're $2.99 for each animal group. I could be wrong. But another affordable option if you want a gift idea that your children will just adore. We go to Hobby Lobby, get like 2 or 3 of the bags of different little ones. We had the safari one, and then we also I think had the insects one as well, and then just put them in a little thrifted little wooden box, and that will probably be one of their favorite gifts because they love it. I don't know what it is about the cute little tiny things that my children are just gravitate towards every time. They think it's darling, and the fact that it can latch and close, they love. So that is in her little bag here of things that her favorite things that she's taking to church right now. But I wanted to share that because some of the things that I think that they will love or that I think they need, they really don't. Little tiny figurines like this and a notepad with stickers, they just love. It's truly something that they just adore. That's why I'm sharing. You can do a lot of different affordable things that your children will love, probably more than we realize. One more thing that I wanted to share is I'm probably going to insert a picture for you guys because it's really, really big. Is last year for Christmas, we got this. It's actually right here. It's the Melissa and Doug, what's it called? Cool Scoops ice creamery. It's the little wooden Melissa and Doug ice cream shop. Every single day since we got it last year for Christmas, it has been played with by one of my children. They love playing ice cream shop. If it's not ice cream shop, then they're playing something with it. Like it's used every single day. There's ice cream sandwiches you can make. It's the ice cream scoops with a little scoop. We surprisingly still have all the pieces, but it is something that they really use every day. And I would say if it was a bigger ticket item, like something you're doing a combined gift, if you have several little ones, definitely recommend that. The quality is still fairly decent on it, and it doesn't look like it's been used at all, even though we use it all the time. So it's held up really nicely in spite of the use that we do give it. And it's just been a really fun addition to our home. I think that was everything I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm going to do another video just like this, only geared towards that 8 to 10-year-old range, and I'll be sharing their favorite games, toys, activities, and things like that. And then eventually, once I'm ready, we'll get into what we actually got for Christmas and stocking stuffer ideas and things like that. But thank you guys again for being here. I was so glad to have you. And until my next video, you guys have a wonderful day, and God bless. Take care, guys. Bye.